These are psilocybin mushrooms. Okay, psychedelic talk today. You know, I asked mostly everyone on my email list and my social media what they wanted to hear with YouTube, and I know for a fact that psychedelics are one of the #1 topics. In fact, when I look at myself on Google and I look for my #1 search term, I believe the #1 that came up was Is a DMT. So for that, I hate you guys, and I'm very disappointed in you because I want to talk about business, but you guys want to talk about DMT and psychedelics and all that crazy stuff. And it just so happens that, you know, I have a fair amount of experience with psychedelics now. I'm not claiming to be a shaman or a master or a guru or any of that, but I have had, you know, a lot of psychedelic trips at this point. And, you know, my experience is about 6 years old now. At the end of 2014, I was looking for a breakthrough for myself. I just felt like I was completely stuck, and I knew that there was something else I needed to unlock inside of myself, and psychedelics called to me as a way to access a new part of life that I just wasn't aware of. And the very first psychedelic I tried was DMT, which now I'm realizing is like trying steroids the first time that you go to the gym to work out. It's, you know, not literally a steroid, but in terms of the intensity of the experience of DMT is so profoundly earth-shattering that set the bar very high for me. DMT is a psychedelic known also as the God molecule, which essentially helps you to disassociate from your ego and to become part of universal mind. And that was my introduction to psychedelics. And so since then, I've done it all, man. I've tried acid, which is, you know, LSD. And that's something that there's been so much research done on. If you actually look, you know, there has been continuous research over the last 100 years to find out what about psychedelics unlocks our mind and why we're able to see patterns and insights, and why we're able to have these out-of-body experiences, these God-mind experiences, these universal oneness experiences, why there's so much similarity between these experiences, why we're able to learn more about ourselves and become so introspective through these, essentially these medicines. And LSD is something that's been studied tremendously as well. If you look at other things that are more natural and created in just the environment, you look at things like psilocybin, like I was just showing you on camera. Psilocybin mushrooms, and there are many types of those, grow all over the world, and they are totally psychedelic. I mean, if you try some mushrooms, you can go the effects can vary from just having a light euphoria to completely melting into the surrounding universe. You know, and to think that these things grow in the ground and how they interact with the human brain is phenomenal. You know, the research that guys like Paul Stamets have done on mushrooms to show not only how incredible the effects of the psychedelics themselves are, but just how incredibly intelligent the mushrooms and the fungi themselves are in the way that they build networks all across the world. The mycelium is like the Earth's natural internet, you know, and so these medicines, as they're called, are seemingly here for us to use. You know, when you look at brews like ayahuasca is essentially a tea that's made in Peru and other places in South America that combines different types of barks and roots found in the Amazonian jungle, and it actually is a way to release DMT orally. So you can vaporize or smoke DMT, which is, you know, like very fine crystals, or you can ingest it through another form, which ayahuasca then releases. And ayahuasca is a very famous, you know, brew. It's known as like the Mother Earth, you know, connection medicine. And there's even the figure of Mother Ayahuasca that many of us who take the brew see, you know, and this guiding spirit of the earth. And you're taught lessons. You're taken all the way back through history. When you take this brew, you can, you know, you see entirely new universes. The experiences can last all night long. You know, I've done them all over the world, in Peru, all over the United States, and they're just phenomenal. They unlock your mind. They show you things that you can never fully describe, never fully express, but they give you knowledge that's unspeakable. And you know, they also just show you how expansive the world is and how little that you know. And even seeing the negative imprint, meaning that seeing how big the space is full of things you don't know, shines light on the vastness of, you know, this universe that we exist in, and that makes living a little bit more more worthwhile sometimes. And there's also a lot of research that certain psychedelic medicines, and we call them plant medicines if you're talking about things like ayahuasca or mushrooms or peyote, which is another one is from the cactus, San Pedro, different iboga, which I haven't tried yet, doesn't really interest me too much, and there's all these different these medicines, and many of them are. But research has already been done, or it's being done right now, to show that they can help with PTSD, anxiety, depression at a much more effective rate than prescription medications can. And we know the prescription medications for antidepressants are just the crap. They're terrible for you. They're addictive. They're damaging to your body and your mind. They don't really work that well past a certain point. And we're finding that these medicines, things like psilocybin mushrooms, like LSD, and like ketamine, can be used as real therapies to completely, cure depression, cure addiction. So pretty powerful stuff. Psychedelics are coming back into a new, they're coming back in vogue, especially in places like Oregon, where I am right now, and they've completely decriminalized all psychedelic uses. And in other states, I believe Colorado has done the same. I believe there's a few more, who are on the way. And it's just the first tower kind of fell as cannabis culture swept across the nation, and now more states than not have some form of legalization around cannabis. And then you look at the psychedelic movement, and it's starting as well. And I could see this too when I worked at LA Weekly back in 2018. I was the cannabis editor for a while, and I could see the growing popularity in the media around this movement, and the brands around the movement, and the total consumerism around the movement. And when I saw that, I said, wow, there's so much big money here, and psychedelics are just a hop and a skip away. And I bet you in the next few years we're going to see magic mushroom teas and LSD microdose therapy. I'm positive that we will, because legalization is only a matter of time. We're realizing these things aren't truly as harmful as we were made to believe back in the 60s, when conservative times versus, scary rebellion, and that thing kind of got quashed. But it's coming back now. We're seeing that it's not scary, and it's actually potentially beneficial and better for us than the things we've been using. So what do you think about psychedelics? What have you tried before? What would you like to try? What have your experiences been? I'm totally curious to hear. I could go on like this forever. What I will do is, in the links below in the description, I'll just leave my article that I wrote on my experiences with DMT. It's called What It's Like to Die, Meeting God Through My Experiences with DMT. It's been really well received, and many people have told me it's the best account they've ever read of the DMT experience. And I think that it's something that can give you a lot of insight. So check it out and leave me a comment below. And if you think I should do more on psychedelics, let me know what videos you'd like to hear as well. Okay, that's all I got for you. Talk to you soon. Peace.